So before you see me talking about my appointment, I need to explain some things first because I jumped the gun, and I do that because I'm autistic, but it's also taken so long to get to that appointment that, I was done at this area. I'd moved on. He hadn't, but I had, and I was ready to get down to get to, business and stuff. So I saw my doctor a long time ago, probably over 6 months ago at first. And yeah, definitely over 6 months, probably closer to over a year ago. And I told him the symptoms I was having related to endometriosis. And he's like, it's probably endo. I didn't bring it up, but he did because I didn't really know what was going on. And I just, I wondered if that is a possibility. So I saw him. And he's like, it's probably endo. With your medical history and the pain and symptoms you're explaining, it's probably endometriosis. Let's book a surgery. And so I'm like, cool. But he wanted me to get cleared by a neurologist first. And that took for fucking ever. I talked about it a while ago, but I was having an issue with a UT South neurologist. He was great, and then he found out that I had EDS and dyskeratosis congenita, and then he completely, washed his hands from me and made it to the point where I could not see anybody at UT South, and I could not find a neurologist for some reason that took my insurance. I tried to fight him, and they basically sided with him. I wanted to see a very specific neurologist there that I was referred to, and they would not let me see that person. They said that I could see this other person, but I chose not to see her because I felt like the reason they picked her was probably because she was going to be like him, and they're probably buddies, and there really shouldn't have been a reason why they wouldn't let me see the other person. I think that they chose the person they did to save themselves in some way. Anyway, it took a while for me to find a doctor. My cardiologist actually ended up sending me to a pediatric neurologist, and he kind of saw me out of the grace of his whatever. Anyway, my cardiologist sent me to a pediatric doctor, and he saw me, and he wasn't really interested in doing anything specifically. He was going to treat my migraines, basically, and that's it, because he's a migraine specialist. He wasn't interested in doing anything else, but he said he would clear me for surgery. Here's where the problem was. Neurologist guy wanted OBGYN guy to fax over a piece of paper for him to sign and say, yes, surgery's okay, and he'd send it back. OBG guy wanted neurology to fax something over saying she's cleared for surgery, and, he has that letter. Either person didn't want to fax anything. They wanted the other person to do it. So it took, months of calling, why is no one wanting to send anything? Like, what can I do? Do I need to come pick something up and bring it to the other doctor? Like, what can I do to get this fucking fixed? Because it was fucking, like, the worst game of telephone ever. Eventually, I found another neurologist, and I completely moved over to her. And, from the beginning, she was willing to work with my doctors, and my other doctors just don't want to do that for some reason, but she's willing to do it. She called my OB, cleared me for surgery, even found a medication to help me with waking up from anesthesia because my Tourette's goes cuckoo. Because of all that wait, I had years of information that needed to be given to my doctor, and because I'm autistic and because of the amount of shit that I had to go through to even get cleared for surgery, my brain kind of forgot about it, and for some reason I forget that other people are not where I'm at mentally. And so I went in there and I, word vomited that I want a hysterectomy, and then he was like, hold up, first of all, for some reason he thought I was younger than I was, and once I explained everything, he was kind of more on board, but it was still just a very confusing appointment on my part and his part. It doesn't matter whose fault it was just a very, very, very confusing appointment. All of my appointments kind of end up like this, and it's partly a communication issue, I realize. But they know that I'm autistic, and they should realize that, I think, in my opinion, and work with me, But anyway, this video that you're about to see is my appointment after, I think, 2 or 3 visits of confusion. He's never seen me in person at this point. This is the first time he's seeing me in person. It's always been over the phone, video chat, and Skype. And so there's, been a good amount of time lapse. And so he knew who I was, but he was, needed a refresher. And I didn't really think about that. I was just like, I'm proved. Let's fucking do some work now, And he was still at, letter A, and I'm at letter D or whatever, but of the steps. And so, hopefully this kind of explains a little bit and explains why I was so confused, and also explains that it's not my first appointment, even though it kind of seems like that, but it's not. Anyway, here you go. I keep trying to have this conversation, and I can't organize my brain. I just had two doctor's appointments today. I'm going to be talking about my appointment with my urogynecologist. He's specializes in endo and IC. Pretty good chance that I have endometriosis. They will not know until they go in there and look, which sucks. Based on sonograms and stuff, they did see that my left ovary looks like it's adhered to my uterus, and there is a endometrioma, which is an endocyst on the left ovary. And then based on the fact that I'm having certain pains, I personally think that it's possibly attached to my bowels and other organs. He thinks it's likely. And I have the trifecta of POTS and EDS and the moles, all those comorbidities really make my chance of having endo higher. I think he said the general population has a 5 to 10% chance, and once you have EDS, POTS, and all that stuff, it's a 35 to 50% chance that you're gonna have endo. So it's likely that I have it, and he has no problem going in there and checking and then doing excision surgery if he sees it. Here's my thing though. Before I saw him, I've been considering getting a hysterectomy, and it's something that I'm not excited about. I didn't think I was gonna cry. Anyway, he said he doesn't want to do a hysterectomy right off the bat. As soon as I brought it up, he said he didn't want to do a hysterectomy. But then, after we clarified some stuff, he kind of got more open to the idea. With the dust keratosis congenital and the cancer risks, and the fact that I'm not tolerating birth control, all seem, it seems like a good idea. The thing though is that if you keep your ovaries, you have a higher risk of the endo coming back. If you take the uterus, cervix, and your ovaries, then you have basically a 5% chance. So it goes from a 25 to 50% chance to a 5% chance. I'm 24 and I really don't want to go through menopause. And he did say that there is low hormones that I can go on to that would not risk me having increase my risk of endo coming back. And so that's an option. And that's something that I need to have him clarify, because I'm really confused, because he went from no, I'm not doing a hysterectomy on you, because he thought I was 19 for some really reason. I don't think I look 19, but apparently I do. Mom's outside. Hopefully she doesn't come by my door again because she's loud. But I personally want to I think when I say want, it's not I want a candy or something. I feel I want a hysterectomy for the benefits it would give me. A hysterectomy would not cure endo, but it would keep me from having to deal with an IUD, because it causes my increased risks of PID, and I've already gotten PID because I have an immune disorder, and an IUD is not recommended for people with immune disorders, and it causes me to have more cysts. The only reason I have it is because it's the only thing that has worked that does not cause mood issues and doesn't and prevents my period, because I cannot stand my period. I faint more, and higher pain levels, and obviously I need to protect from pregnancy when I am active. I don't want a hysterectomy, but it seems like it makes the most sense. I am confused though, because I don't really know exactly what's happening. I need to have another conversation with him to know what's going down. I don't want to be confused and then have the next appointment where I'm about to get cut open. That doesn't make sense to me. And I need to decide, like, if he's going to go in there and he's going to take my uterus out, should I let him go ahead and take my ovaries? Because, you know, a 25 to 50% chance is a big chance to me, to allow endo to come back. And I was really annoyed because the whole time he was really talking to my mom. I don't know why he was doing that. He said that I was a really smart person, and, like, you know, smarter than the average person and all that stuff. So I don't know why he was talking to my mom. I don't think he was doing it like how they do that with disabled people. I think he was like, you know, mom's in here, she's probably worried and all that kind of crap. But the appointment went better than I thought it was going to, but it didn't go anywhere near as well as I wanted it to. I am confused and sad because I don't know what's going on. He is talking, from my understanding, to the medical board to get approval to do a hysterectomy on me, but it makes sense to do the hysterectomy, the excision, and if he's going to take my ovaries out, if he thinks that's the best thing for me, to do that all in surgery. Kind of up in the air if he has to do excision surgery and confirm endo before he can take the hysterectomy. Before he can do the hysterectomy. Personally, even if I don't have endo, I want him to take it out. But I don't think, like, they'll be able to do that because I don't have the rights over my body. It's just how the world works. So I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm mad because I'm confused. And things could have been explained better, but, you know, we had to go from, like, no, it's not even an option, to, like, you know, explaining everything and him being like, okay, actually, maybe it probably should be an option type of thing. And so that was more of the conversation than, like, okay, hysterectomy's now on the table, now what? I think that's what I needed. I need another appointment to kind of be like, okay, hysterectomy is on the table, now what? Like, should we consider, like, a full hysterectomy? And what do they call it when they take your ovaries out? Because it's not a hysterectomy. People think a full hysterectomy is when they take your ovaries out too, and it's not. I'm trying to look it up on my old phone, but every freaking notification from the last time I turned on this thing is coming up. And oophorectomy? That's a weird word. They could have chosen a better name. Even overectomy would have been better than oophorectomy, because it's OOPHOR, you know, ectomy. Anyway, that's different than a hysterectomy. Hysterectomy, when someone says a full hysterectomy, they're just talking cervix and uterus, because the cervix is attached to the uterus. And the reason I would want my cervix removed is because you can still have bleeding. It's called free bleeding after hysterectomy. And, you know, if they're going to remove my thing, they better make damn sure I'm not going to have a period. So, you know, I'm confused because I went in there thinking, like, I want them to keep my ovaries as much as possible. Like, I don't want to tie his hands, but I also really want to keep my ovaries. And now I'm realizing, like, if I keep my ovaries, there's a good chance I'm going to be seeing his, you know, OR again. And, you know, yeah. So today was kind of just getting him to understand that a hysterectomy is not the worst idea in the world, and hopefully he can get it approved, because he has to get it approved from the ethics committee. What else? It's the ethics committee, malpractice, insurance, definitely, and then something else. I don't want them to remove my fallopian tubes too, because I don't know if that'd be a part of the ovaries removal. Like, they can take they can leave the ovaries and take the tubes, but a lot of the time ovarian cancer is caused by the tubes, not the actual ovaries. But if I do get my ovaries removed, there are, like, low doses of hormones they can give me, but I don't want it to be a pill. You know, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to take the pill. Just, you know, executive function wise, but side effects too. It's like a very low chance I'd have side effects from a low dose, but the executive dysfunction would probably be the biggest thing to worry about. While I'm looking for this, I did bring up getting a custom-made hospital gown made. He was completely fine with me going in the OR with it, which, like, you know, I didn't like that he was talking to my mom mainly. I kind of felt like that wasted the appointment a little bit, but love how I really think, like, I felt like he really understands, like, our pain. Like, he can't understand it as much as, like, a girl was, but, like, he's, like, completely, like, he's the best guy doctor I've had. That's at, like, even my oncologist, which is, like, my second, grandfather, he doesn't understand pain as much as this guy did. And, um, you know, it felt more like he did kind of say, like, I view young patients as, like, like a would-be daughter, and it kind of felt like that, I guess is what I'm saying. But to talk to basically his hospital and then the medical board and then the ethics committee, and then he also has to get approved. If I don't have endo, there's a possibility that my insurance might not approve it. And even if I do have endo, they might want me to try a bunch of shit that I don't need to try beforehand. So at least he's not like a dead set no like he was when I first brought it up. Hopefully my second appointment, we can figure out exactly what is best for me and all that stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to document this and let you know how this journey of mine is going. And surgery is scheduled for December, but is that a hysterectomy surgery? That's kind of up in the air. It's excision for sure, but it's excision for sure if I have the endo, but it's definitely like going in there and exploratory, like looking for endo. But I think I'm going to move it after December, because if I have a hysterectomy, I don't want to be going through that grieving process, in December. So, yeah. I'll talk to you later.